嫌ない痛み悲しみで傷ついた君を消せない過去も背負い合ってこう生きることを投げ出さないで繋いだ君の手をいつか失ってしまうのかな薄れてゆく笑顔と君を守りたいから響く僕を呼ぶ声さえかね溶け消そう風にかき消されたって君を見つけ出す言えない痛み悲しみで傷ついた君も笑えないなんて人嫌いなんて言葉そう言わないで見えない未来に起こることすべてに意味があるから今はそのままでいいきっと気づける時が来るだろう You only to ask for you いつか分かり合えるから
Hey everybody and welcome back to the Technicals channel. Hey, welcome back everybody, it's been 2 weeks. Today's video we're gonna be going over...
Hey, what the fuck's going on with your hair? You look gayer than usual.
What do you mean my hair? What the fuck? You didn't say anything about that!
I don't know, it's your fucking hair.
Let me keep it together. Today we're gonna be talking about False, who's really fucking stupid and Asian. I can't.
In that moment, a change began from deep inside Technicals. Something that, until recently, had remained dormant. The enemy intro was the final catalyst to his transformation. Both the detective and Technicals had no idea the power they had just unleashed. Dark Technicals, Tech-Nisan, Tech-Sama, Technicarus, all names of the monster that would soon consume Technicals' entire being. False was too great of an opponent. The only thing that could stand up to him now was something edgier than he could ever be. The second Dark Technicals took over, all hell broke loose over the timeline. He began retweeting hentai left and right, and responding to people in ways that just made him look like a pompous asshole. This would become the genesis of Smash, the beginning and ending of a saga.
Holy shit! What the fuck happened to you, Tech?
別に大したことではないよ。俺が本当の俺になっただけさ。
The Tech I know isn't some weeb beta male that speaks in math equations.
よーく言うね。iDubbbz の偽物くせに。
My feelings. I can't move.
そのままでじっとしてろ。
Tech, I know you're still in there. You have to come back to normal.
元に戻れって。先のバカが本当にファルスの相手になれると思ったか。ふざけるな。
This fucking weeb's gonna ruin everything.
はいはい、そうそう。これから全て俺に任せばいいんだ。Oh, sorry. I didn't see you. I am Technicarus. Well, enough with the introductions. Let's get to the real reason why I'm here. Whenever things get too convoluted, I'll have to go back to my happy place. But for now, let's just go over the basics. Weeks ago, a lot of controversy surrounding False arose. There was an incident, including their roommates and an individual named Trey. What essentially happened was an altercation occurred between False and Trey, in which Trey had a chipped tooth.
Wow, you are covering this shit terribly.
Didn't I tell you to sit there?
Omni did better.
Fine. Okay, the full story, well, as told by the roommates, was that False fabricated bits and pieces of the story to fit his narrative. According to Sylvanus, the first inconsistency, False had publicly stated on Twitter that the contact was forehead to teeth. But what Sylvanus uncovered was that, initially, False told him that the contact was teeth to teeth. Now, if that portion isn't enough for you, it gets a little bit deeper. Trey also saw the tweet from False, which was essentially deemed as damage control. He felt it necessary to give his side of the story. Trey proved that not only his teeth were cracked, but that there were also inconsistencies in False's story. From False's side, the police were called, and essentially he was given the right to tell him whether he was going to leave the premises or not. This was neither corroborated or proven by False, and it was actually denied by essentially everyone else that had witnessed the account. In Trey's account, all of the other roommates had agreed that he would be allowed to stay on the premises, and that the police officers found it quite weird that he was looking up to the sky, just screaming, talking to himself. Who would do something like that? Who would look up to the sky and talk to themselves?
You have to stop.
Quiet! I'm talking right now. You had your chance. Anyways, following this controversy with Trey, multiple other issues began appearing. One by one, every member of Zenma, or at least the original cast, began leaving. Believe it or not, False actually has a private account, which has now been privated, but recently, up until a few weeks ago, was entirely public. You don't really have to travel far to find an issue with this account. Straight in the bio, it states, Manic Dissociation Psychopathic Repression. To be honest, I have no idea if this is self-diagnosed, or from a therapist. Many worrisome tweets were uncovered not only by the old Zenma members, but by people that decided to go and search it out on their own. Tweets like calling out the leader of the Code of Conduct in a very hilarious and outrageous manner. I gotta give him some points for that. Pretty bold keeping that public. Secondly, multiple tweets that came off as death threats to a majority of people. Give me the strength to kill them. Now at first, that seems quite worrisome. A lot of people thought that this was directed towards his old roommates at the loft. His explanation in his Twitlonger in response to Apathy's document, which was a collective document of all the previous Zenma members. In there he states that the tweets about killing were actually referring to him hyping himself up for a tournament bracket. To corroborate this story, I checked all the tournaments that were on that date. You got lucky, False. That one checks out. Frostbite 2019 Top 48. But what about all the other ones? What about the ones where you say, I'll kill you, 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 I'll kill you. Sorry, excuse me. Or how about this next one? I'm a psychopath put on this earth to kill sociopaths. I don't think you can really explain that one away, False. Most people, rightfully so, not knowing much else, would assume that that's the biggest issue that False is facing currently.
You'll never be able to beat False with Chinese cartoons. You're a madman!
お前の立場がわからないよね、ディテクティブ。俺が雑魚の命令に聞く必要はないんだ。Where were we? Oh, that's right. This next issue might get a little bit complicated, but let's take our time, shall we? Fuck. 黒人は試しなんてないよ。それ変だろ。Smash 3 Super Smash Bros. Brawl plus Wii U documentary. Oh, how we've waited for this. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Kickstarter Crap. Today's piece of crap that we're going to look at is Smash 3 Super Smash Bros. Brawl plus Wii U documentary. Everybody remembers the Melee documentary, correct? The documentary that was released, I believe, 5 or something years ago, that covered about 10 years of history in the Melee community. It was created by a channel now called East Point Pictures. If you put these two projects side by side, you can see that there's actually quite a lot of similarities to them.
I'm hemorrhaging Twitter followers, bro. Quit this weeb shit now while you're ahead.
Shut up!
Let me handle this.
I'm handling this. If you look at this project from 5 years ago, you can see that most of the titles say something like Episode 1, Episode 2, clearly releasing it in segments, as well as the full-on documentary. In the Smash 3 documentary, they had the same aspirations. There's an entire outline of what he wants to accomplish and what episodes, or chapters, that he's going to release. For this project, there's 337 backers, and a total of $9,290 raised. To understand why so many people are upset about this, we both have to understand the nostalgia and impact of the Melee documentary, and how much work and money has been put into campaigning for this Kickstarter. A major component in advertising this was Zero. Him and False collaborated, and he plugged his documentary and Kickstarter, blah blah blah, all in the description of the video. Let's see exactly what the tiers are so we know how much people were putting in. Pledge $10 or more, access to previews and certain footage during the editing process of the documentary. Estimated delivery September 2016, 53 backers. We'll get to this later, but there hasn't been many previews or updates to begin with. Pledge $25 or more. Free director's cut. Every donor whose contribution exceeds $25 will receive a free digital 4K copy of the director's cut of the documentary once it's finished. And all of our behind-the-scenes work. Bloopers, creative process, production, extended interviews, travel, film, and more. 155 backers. Pledge $35 or more. Director's cut plus your name included in the special thanks of the credits of the documentary. 95 backers. Pledge 300 or more. Documentary poster plus shirt. Our largest donors will be thanked with a large wall poster and a t-shirt with the cover artwork for the documentary. Estimated delivery, June 2017, 2 backers. One quick question, False, just to be certain. You can't mean this artwork, right? I think it'd be a little bit hard to iron out the sodomy wrinkles in that one, but $300 is $300, am I right? And a shirt. The shirt is also going to have that artwork. Okay, I mean, it's just for 2 people, but... And then pledge $900 or more. No one's gonna fucking do that. I don't even have to read that. So $9,000. Well, what did he do with that money? Of course you didn't read it yourself. That's why you're here, right? All of the fund's allocations are written right down below. His original funding goal was around $6,000 plus. Everything's accounted for. A new camera body, camera stabilizer, camera lenses, batteries. $6,000 straight to that. And he did put a decent amount of work into this. He even justified why he needed every single piece. And, you know, having the exact amounts that it's going to cost. Very well done on False's end. He was even able to reach his stretch goal. Ah, False. How happy he must have been to go to Japan. $8,000. All accounted for. In travel fees. And an increased stretch goal to get an entirely different lens than stated previously. If we're to go off this and assume that that's how much money he needed precisely, he had an estimate total of $400 left over. With not only meeting the original goal and getting $3,000 more than that, you'd think that production would be quite easy, right? This is where things get a little bit complicated, and I have to say, that's what I enjoy the most. You see, the detective isn't the only one that's good at digging things up. Since the release of this Kickstarter, it's been about 3 to 4 years, and a lot of people have been wondering, where's the documentary? All of the goals have been met, you have the equipment that you need, the files are all done. What's taking so long, False? If you even look at a post from April 2017, he said that he had about 80% of the filming done. So what's the holdup? I did a little bit of digging, and I found out that False actually has a Tumblr account. While scrolling through, I found a post that piqued my interest. That post was the final piece I needed to checkmate False once and for all. In that Tumblr post 3 to 4 months ago, False is talking about how he had $3,000 to buy an entirely new setup. Now, where does this get bad? Well, not only did he have a surplus of money to buy an entirely new setup, when clearly he could already make content, the fact that he was able to assemble a full team of not only graphic artists, but also top players, for absolutely no promise of pay, it makes you wonder. False is constantly complaining about how he has to do this alone. There's so much work, he says. If only everyone were that ignorant, False. How is it that you have the time to think about becoming the head of an esports organization and not fulfilling a promise that you made 3 to 4 years prior on $9,000 of other people's borrowed money? I don't know whether you lack priorities or just common sense. Not to mention that right before your entire team left you, you made a post about the progress of the documentary. Obviously, this was the best move to do, seeing as you were getting a ton of heat for it. On August 18th, you said that the base timeline for the documentary was finished. This means the script and storyline for all the Apexes from 09 to 14 have been officially wrapped up. That's interesting. It's interesting that your timeline consists primarily of events from 09 to 14. I only say that because Smash 4 released in 2014. I believe it was September. But all the trailers that you've been releasing have included information completely out of this timeline. Not to mention the completely irrelevant mini-doc between Leffen and Salem. It's amazing that you can get something of that caliber done and not a 20-minute episode. 3 trailers, all with decently high production value, done within a year of each other. Yet you can't seem to get one episode out of all the ones that you promised in 2016. What I'd like to know is, did you have any of Zenma helping you make those trailers, False? Because from what I read from the previous Zenma members is that was being forced on them. I don't actually believe that a lot of them participated or were willing to participate in the first place. Even with all this heavy workload that False constantly complains about, he says that the documentary is going to be implementing CGI and 3D animation. Not only have you failed to show that the funds that you acquired have been adequately spent, because you only show video files every time you're called out for it, which means absolutely nothing. The funds were for equipment. Show a picture of your equipment. Who cares about a video file? I'll show you a whole list of video files right now. That means I spent $9,000. Do we look like fucking idiots to you, False? And with your prestige, you were able to get a team together for absolutely no pay, and now you're telling me you have ambitions to do CGI and 3D animation? No wonder this is taking you so long. You're either not working on it, or your aspirations are too far out of this world for you to ever achieve them. But I digress. Let's wrap this up, shall we? Let's not just take my word for it, let's check the comments of the Kickstarter. First backer, I really enjoyed the Melee documentary. Even though I don't play pro, it's cool to get a peek into the other side. Can't pledge much, but I'm very happy to see this. You all have done a fantastic job with your other Smash content. It's time to remind people 2008-2013 was far from dead air. It's been a while since I've heard anything about this. How's it coming? Are we gonna get any updates on the doc soon? Kinda curious. It seems like it has been kept on the DL for quite some time. Well, September has come and gone. Literally 0 communication since the time they met their goal. Not even an update when the Kickstarter ended. Even if you've been super busy, would it really have taken more than 5 minutes to post that we're all still working? Or we started filming? This, of course, is in the comments section of the same False that pleaded how communicative he was with his old Zenma members when they called him out for it. Update, please? Any updates? Communication is key. What's the current status? Any update? How's it coming? Haven't heard anything about the project since May. Could have at least started some behind-the-scenes stuff to show your progress. Yeah, an update would be nice. I mean, Rush Hour Smash is super active, so you think they could at least tease some stuff or talk about their progress. Rush Hour Smash, of course, being the group between Keitaro and False that made consistent YouTube and Twitch content. With Smash Ultimate just being released, there's really nothing of Smash 3/4 left. I'm hoping this means there's nothing that could possibly stall this documentary anymore. But it's been 8 months since the last update. I'm starting to think it's time to stop checking back. If it does eventually come out, great. But the creator has literally given us 0 reason to believe he'll be able to follow through. No behind the scenes, only 3 updates in the last 2 years, but I've officially given up on this project. Sincerely, backer number 1. Back to the tiers list. Now I understand that for the $300 tier they're supposed to get posters and shirts, correct? And from the original funds, you had about $300 to $400 extra. This wasn't allocated in the original plan, but you could take that $300 to $400 for the processing and production fee of those posters to send out. Not to mention that you're also going to have to pay for the shipping costs. I'm assuming that you're tight on money in this regard, seeing as you weren't even able to pay members of Zenma. You have enough free time to be the head of an organization, but not to work daily on this documentary, or at least some progress. Where's the communication? Where is a single episode in 3 to 4 years? Just 1 episode. Do it incrementally, and then release the entire documentary at your discretion. This is just sad. Nothing's adding up, you're a complete disappointment, your ego is bigger than the ambitions that you have for this project in the first place. How about instead of bragging about working on a 4K cinematic documentary, you actually fucking work on it and finish it? You have no idea how much you would be worshipped by the community if you just sat there quietly and did your job. But you couldn't do that, could you, False? You couldn't just sit there and edit. No one's gonna believe that a man with your prestige can't get an entire team together like you've already shown for 0 pay to help work on something as big as the Smash documentary. that you don't even have a correct timeline for because all of your trailers contradict that exact concept. It's conceptual trash, and you're essentially scamming the community out of $9,000. I don't even want to begin to talk about the rumors about you smoking it away, because it's irrelevant. You're not doing your job, and that's the issue. You're lucky I only watch wholesome anime. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? You're lucky I only watch in-flight safety videos, or else you'd be fucked. I'd unfasten my seatbelt so quick. False is all like, you're lucky I only watch hardcore gay porn, or else I'd totally be fucking your girl. I don't know where this is going. This whole project's fucking bullshit. I couldn't have destroyed this false more if I wanted to. Pity. I really wanted to have a lot more fun. I'll come back whenever another edgelord appears. No one's edgier than me, though. Sayonara, Mina. Detective, what the fuck happened? I'm gonna lose subscribers. I should.